What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard. Welcome to the show. Hopefully, the audio and everything is good. I'm supposed to have pocket watching with JT on. For some reason, I haven't had any contact with him. I don't know exactly what's going on. So we'll figure it out. Probably reschedule. It happens. It happens. So today we're just gonna chop it up. Gonna freestyle it. Gonna do a open panel, open discussion. You pick the topic. We just vibe with it. We just gonna lean with it and rock with it today and see where this goes. It's a number of things that I've been wanting to comment on, but just haven't really worked it into the schedule to talk about this that Devin Franklin, Megan Good situation. I may touch on that. May touch on that. It's a number of things out there that we may get into, but I'll kind of let y'all sort of dictate the terms and conditions of the conversation within reason, within reason. So either way it go, let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
All right, what's up, good people? As you heard in the pre-show ramble, I was supposed to have a pocket watching with JT on today. I have not had any contact with him this morning. We agreed to the show, got it set, locked in for Thursday, and the communication was a little shaky. Well, no, I wouldn't say a little shaky. It was just after we got it locked in, I didn't do any follow-up with him. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but I hit him up last night, giving him like all the cliff notes of the show and everything. Didn't get a reply, and then sent him the link this morning. Didn't get a reply, so we'll figure that out. That kind of thing happens. Sometimes wires get crossed. We don't, things like that happen. Things like that happen. No big deal. No big deal. So we probably end up rescheduling that show. So y'all probably will get that show. I don't know. For all I know, next week. Hopefully, because I really like pocket watching with JT. I love his channel, one of my favorite channels. So I definitely look forward to having a conversation with him, because it's an actual fake guru, as they're called. I don't even know who fits that category and who doesn't, but I know I put a lot of people in that category. One that I won't say no personally, but connected with. I'll say connected with. That I kind of put him onto, and I was like, man, you gotta let me know your thoughts on this. We was going to end up talking about it. I know some people that actually bought products from this person, and we're not impressed. So we were going to get into that. We're going to get into a number of things, but either way, that show doesn't appear to be happening today. It doesn't appear to be happening today. So this show is all about you, the listener. No, but no, it'll be a freestyle show. We'll talk about whatever. We'll chop it up. I'll put the link out there. We'll get a good conversation going. People already throwing out good ideas from the chat. I was already planning on talking about the Devon Franklin Making Goods husband. Like I haven't talked about that much, but I've seen too many people going in on the whole true you, true year, true blue, whatever the hell he talking about. Just goofy stuff. So I was probably going to touch on that, but it's a number of things. But either way it goes, shout out to the Early Bird Squad. Those are making it bright and early before we even get things started. Appreciate each and every one of you. I see Snuggles in the building, LB Crypto in the building, my man Rod of God Podcast in here. Shout out to him and E Taylor, channel members. Shout out to y'all. Channel members, stand up. He says, okay, VR, let's go with another good one. Hopefully this will turn into a good one. It was going to be a great one if would have got JT Pocket Watching with JT in the building, but hopefully we can make it a good one. Hopefully we can make it a good one on the fly. Build it while we flying it. Shout out to Ed Unchained, calling out to CP time. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Logan JJ RM in the building. Who do we got? Eclectic Agitator in the building. Says rise and shine, everyone producing respect. Right on. The Mac the Trucker in the building. Hey man, salute to you. Said he'd been home recovering from COVID. Man, that's a threat. It's a thing. I had to do a lot of research on the Omarion variant. Like I said, I recently came down with some sickness. And I felt like, no, I don't got it because it's not in the chest. But that's one thing they said in the research. The Omarion variant is more up here than down here, which is good. Because when it's down in the chest, when it's on your lungs, that's a whole nother thing. You don't want your lungs messed up. You can handle your throat. You can handle your throat and your nose and all of this being backed up. But when it's in your chest, that's a whole nother story. So yeah, I didn't go get checked out. I just been kind of laying low, I didn't go get checked out. I just been laying low, just waiting for this common cold to blow over. So yeah, I don't even know if I got it because I was still going by the old principle that if it just feel like regular cold and flu, don't go into the hospital. Don't be all out getting everybody else sick. Just lay low and wait out the common cold. And that's more or less what I did. And I can honestly say I don't know if I had it or didn't have it. I can honestly say that. I felt confident that no, I ain't got it. It's just regular sickness. But looking back at it, I honestly don't know. And that's where we at. You don't know unless you go get tested. That's where we at. But no, hopefully everything went well with you. Hopefully the symptoms were mild or are mild. He said, I don't know what's going on YouTube. I've been home recovering from COVID. So hopefully you're fully recovered. But no, it's wild. It's wild. It is. Okay, I got jokes. Bernard said, damn, ironing my shirt. No, I didn't iron this bad boy. No, I didn't. This one of those shirts that kind of get back wrinkled after you iron it, though. So it's whatever. And I was going to put a blazer over top of it, and y'all wasn't going to see it, but I didn't get around to that. So y'all just seen it a little wrinkled. It is what it is. I might go grab the blazer to cover up the wrinkles since you done blazed me live in front of a studio audience. I might just go cover it up. Falcon Black says there are legit gurus in this space. As the black belt martial artist and fighter, he says, as a black belt martial artist and fighter, there may be a perspective I can give that's new. People should have some expertise. Expertise on a particular subject doesn't put you in that shiesty guru category. The shiesty guru is somebody who, somebody who sells a course, but they make way more money selling the course than what they do actually implementing the stuff from the course. If the thing that you're selling in the course, if the course is $2,000, but the thing that you're selling, trying to get other people to do, if you yourself have barely even made $2,000 off of what you're selling to them, it's like, I could sell you a course on how to be an awesome day trader in the stock market. I could sell you a course on that. Great. How much money are you making day trading stocks? Oh, you're breaking even? That's when you turn into a fake guru, That's when you turn into a fake guru. You see that a lot of times with multi-level marketing. Where basically they don't make money off the product that they sell. It's barely even a product sometimes. They make money off the sign up. That's when it gets into, I'm some fake wealth business money building guru person, but you don't even have a product that you're selling. You're selling the sign up, And I've gotten involved with stuff like that before. Embarrassed to say, back when I was married, she used to want to try to whatever the latest get rich quick multi-level marketing thing was, because she had that personality. She could sell, water to a fish. She was just that person. So she used to try that stuff. But her problem was she used to try to actually sell the product. That was her problem. I watched her fail at that stuff because she would be trying to sell the product. I'm like, no, you're missing it. The business isn't the product. And she would actually sell the product and be successful at selling the product, but the business isn't the product. The business is selling the business. Selling to business the people that want to sell the business to people who want to sell the business to people. That was the product. She didn't get that. But if you would have put that same energy into selling the magical $50 bottle of healing juice, if you would have put that same energy into just recruiting people to sell the juice, she would have had a downline that would have ultimately made her some money. So no, I don't just put anybody who has any expertise into that fake guru category. I don't do that. Because that's not right. Because some people do have legitimate expertise. Some people can legitimately help people, or shouldn't say help people. Teach people, certain tools that they need. But yeah, I see people coming through with super chats. Appreciate each and every one of you. This is an open topic show. Whenever there's an open topic show, undoubtedly somebody wants to talk about tricking. You guys just can't. I've given my opinion on tricking. Go for it. I don't think it should be your primary source of poon, but go for it. Just if you want to do it, do it. It's I don't got my sword and shield out either way. I don't know why some people are so anti it, but I don't think it should turn into your religion either. I just think it's something that if you do it every now and then, oh well. I have a oh well attitude towards it. And that's going to be my attitude and perspective on that going forward, forever and always. Amen. Some people go to do it. I get it. Somebody else. Oh, shout out to the Mac the Trucker. He said, I'm fully recovered now. He says, I had it. I got tested twice. I should have got tested. But I didn't. Who we got in here? The Mac the Trucker in here with a super chat. He says, I'm good now, brother Bernard. I had a fever, chills, didn't really have a fever, and a bad headache. Had the bad headache for about 3 days. He says, let's start the first game war. No. Y'all stay trying to reset me. Yes. And I don't even mind a good reset, but no, y'all trying to get game wars and tricking wars going. We're not doing that. He said, let's start the game war of 2022 today, or finally getting a one-on-one with RBR. One-on-one with RBR will not happen. You could take that one to the bank. That will not happen. That will not happen. E Capone in the building. Shout out to E Capone, saying he got 5 on it. I got 5 on it. Wealth Engineering in the building. Wealth Engineering in the building says, I aspire to be a guru and a mentor. Without gurus, I would never learn how to build wealth. I'm learning from the fake gurus what not to do. Well, are you really learning from the fake gurus what not to do? Because really, okay, they're getting you to buy their course. You see, the fake guru has that product to sell you. That's their thing. So they're not really telling you what not to do. They're just, I don't know. I guess you can learn from them what not to do, but you see, the thing is, if they're just offering a product, that you either buy the product or you're not buying it. I don't know what you exactly can learn from them. I don't know what a lot of times they're selling a product on something that you probably could research yourself. Probably. But it depends. It depends. But either way it go. I appreciate channels like CoffeeZilla and Pocket Watching with JT. Absolutely. Edward Anderson says there's a big market for selling hope, trust, and believe, and the market is going to get bigger. Absolutely. But shout out to who was that? Wealth Engineering with the Canadian money. Shout out to you. Geek Surgeon don't know who RBR is. Good for you. You should not know. You should not know who that is. Good on you for not knowing who that is. One thing I just realized, if Ed, if you could come up and talk about this if you want, because I don't know for sure if I heard you speaking about multi-level marketing, MLM. I don't know if I heard you speak about that before. In my mind, all of those are scams. And if I wouldn't mind somebody trying to take me down from that position. So if you have a position on that, Ed, I wouldn't mind you coming up and speaking on that, or on whatever. We can stay on the topic of fake gurus or whatever or whatnot. But the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat for anybody. Any topic. We wide open today. Anybody can come up and have to say on anything. So come on up. Let's get it popping. Let's make it happen. We got Carlton Banks III in the building. He said these last $2. No doubt. I've been only playing it by request.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
Shout out to Carlton Banks III. Shout out to Sodomy and Chicken. Worst name on YouTube. sodomy and chicken. Why does it need to be a war? The tricking and the game supplement each other. The point is to reach the goal. I agree, but rest assured, every time those two subjects come up in conjunction with each other, or not even connected to each other, a war breaks out. A war breaks out every time. You could take that to the bank. If I have a show talking heavy about games, somebody gonna pull up talking about tricking. I have a show talking about tricking, somebody gonna pull up talking about game. It will be a war. It will be a war. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It is no way around that. You can't dodge or sidestep that one. It will undoubtedly be a war. Undoubtedly. But thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. RM in the building, dropping the links. I see Jada LaRue down there. Says like, share, subscribe, join. Absolutely. I don't even know how many channel members I got right now. I gotta go check those out. And just much like how I used to have the Patreons, I used to do this. I still got it right there. But see, some of the people on the list are no longer even Patreons. But I used to have a list scrolling right there. I gotta update that. There's so much stuff I gotta do, so I could better properly acknowledge the Patreons and now the channel members, because I gotta go. So I gotta go check out my Patreon list and get all that updated so I can start properly acknowledging y'all. I gotta get on the job. I'll be boiling. He just said, free my nigga in Area 51. Shout out to AM1 in the building. He says, game versus tricking is a dumb fight. There are numerous variables to consider. Absolutely. I remember ARC, who doesn't trick, but he acknowledged that, hey, when he was out of town or in another country, yeah, you there for a couple days. There's a language barrier, Granted, if he took his time and really got out there, he probably could find a chick that could speak some English and understand the game he was spitting, and probably could have got it popping. But it was just, tricking was convenient in that situation. But for him, so he said that there was times when he have tricked when he traveled. Okay, there's so many variables and reasons why somebody might need to do it, may want to do it. So it just turns into just a pointless thing to be arguing and debating over it. But I do agree with the people that say that it shouldn't necessarily account for 100% of your action. It shouldn't. I do agree with that. But if it's something that you do from time to time here and there, no big deal. But if let me ask you this, because let me ask you this. This is all stuff. This is on the Megan Good situation. With that situation, I've heard some people basically saying that he picked wrong or he did something wrong. Okay, Ed said he got the link. He'll come up later. Cool. Because I haven't nobody come up. I shut this down in 60 minutes real easy. Shut it down at the 60-minute mark real easy. Are people basically talking about is that he essentially picked wrong or did something wrong there? Correct me if I'm wrong. I looked it up and tried to find it. Megan Good has had a pretty stellar public record. Nothing embarrassing. I don't think she had any public relationships with future types, or have she? I haven't found nothing like that. I mean, Google is my friend. Maybe I need to use it a little better. I don't think he did. I don't know. Okay, let me see. He picked right just off looks, but we don't know how she is off camera. But okay, so what I'm saying is that there's just no obvious that was the wrong move in advance type of things, you know. Maybe the religious aspect of it. Maybe that. Maybe that. But overall, I mean, she's had a public, clean image. She was an actress. She's never done nothing completely trashy. She's never been in any trashy tabloids. She hasn't been, you know, you ain't her twerking with her butt cheeks haven't been out nowhere on the internet. She's just been she's had a fairly clean record. So I don't know why people criticizing that like he got with Cardi B or something. Or I don't, you know, I didn't get that criticism. Now the only thing you can criticize how he acting after the fact. Don't no dude supposed to be posting no picture on the Instagram or wherever he posted that picture of him crying. That was weird. That was weird. Leo Anthony says he obviously picked her off how she looked, not the type of woman she was. Plus, she was never a woman of God. I can understand the last part of what you said. She was never a card carrying woman of God. Yeah. Yeah. That part you could say a Christian man went wrong on that part right there. But he obviously picked her off how she looked, not the type of woman that she is. Again, I mean, a successful man can pull an attractive woman. Like when you say not the type of woman she was, what type of woman was she? And we know what she wasn't. She wasn't some card carrying Christian, but what was she that was problematic? That's what I'm trying to assess. You said I can change her. I see you talking black. You saying he was thinking I can change her. What did he need to change about her? Okay, this is what I'm asking y'all to help me out. What was it that he needed to change about her? What was it about her that was problematic? Other than if he had she wasn't a Christian. Like that was it. Like people are trying to make it seem like he tried to turn a hoe into a housewife. Where was any evidence that she was hoeing? That's where I'm at with that. That's where I'm at with that. Probably should change his thumbnail and title right now. Probably should change that right now. Where was any evidence of that? Like, far as I understood, she had a fairly good girl image. I can't think of any moment, anything publicly. I mean, only thing she's just committed the crime of being attractive. Like people are charging. Okay, she dated thugs and liked to party. Come on, don't say come on, Bernard. This is things I didn't know. Wiggy Will, I think. Let me make sure I got that right. Her lack of cooperation was the issue. How do you know that she wasn't cooperating? All I'm saying is I didn't. If somebody is Leo Anthony is saying she liked to party, I didn't see any evidence of that. He said she dated thugs. Who? Like she was just, as far as I could tell. Making Good been ran through by rappers and athletes. Yeah, I need to stop. Okay, let me play around with Google. Let me play around with Google. This was impromptu, so I will admit there was no prior research. This was impromptu. I'm just going to Google Megan Good past boyfriends. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not putting a cape on. I genuinely don't know. I'm genuinely asking. All right, I see a picture of her with somebody that look like a rapper. I don't know who the hell that is. Okay. All right. I'm seeing some evidence. I'm seeing some evidence. I am seeing some evidence. Nothing quite yet conclusive. Okay, I see a picture of her and Tyrese. Hmm. 180 people in there. Hit the like button. Sorry for the dead air. I'm doing some research. There's some evidence out there that she may have been out there getting it, being a party girl. I'm not seeing strong evidence. I mean, it's easier for y'all to research and then send me links to tell the truth. I mean, it's 180 of y'all and one of me, so it's easier for y'all to research and send me the links to end the argument. It's easier for y'all to do that. But it's a picture of her standing. It's I see two pictures of her standing next to some dudes that look thuggish. The other ones are Tyrese, some dude in the suit that look kind of square. Nick Cannon. Like I'm not seeing any hard evidence of what y'all saying about her ran through status. Not seeing hard evidence on that. Somebody send a super chat. Let me get to that. He said, "Shorty been ran through by rappers and athletes." Xander with a Z says, "The pastor wife smoked cigarettes and drank." Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I can't do no cigarette smoker. I can do a drinker. You can't be smoking squares and got scratchy cigarette voice. I can't do that. That's a no-no for me. You could do a little drinking. You could do a little drinking. AM1 in the building says brothers need to realize that the modern woman madness will only increase and act accordingly. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely 100% on that one. Aaron said Bernard Riley said on his list of non-negotiables, it was non-smoker, non-alcohol drinker. Oh, he said on his list of non-negotiables, it was non-smoker, non-alcohol drinker, and she was both, and he went against his principles to accept her. Okay. L Boogie, don't put out nonsense like that. Don't put out nonsense like that. I don't like that. I don't like that shit. Somebody try to pin a narrative on me. I don't like that shit. I said I honestly did not know. I'm Googling. I didn't do any content on it because I never researched it. And before I did content on it, I was going to research it. I just knew her as an actor. I remember she was cute as hell in You Got Served, and she been fine ever since. And I haven't heard nothing about her other than when I see her in a movie. So she had some partying, hanging out, thugging, getting ran through by athletes and rappers' life. I didn't know about that. That's all I was saying is I didn't know about it. If that is true, then for damn sure a pastor ought not be wifing her up. Definitely ought not be wifing her up. If that's the case. If that's the case, yeah, then he shouldn't be. But those were things. Did I say stump the yard? I meant to say You Got Served. Wait, no, she was in Stump the Yard too. He says you're not supposed to know Megan Good's history as a dude. Yeah, that's accurate. That's accurate, Soul Provider. I don't keep up with these chicks like that. I really don't. I just knew she was an actor and a pastor married an actor. I didn't think that, in my mind, that wasn't a crime against his pastorhood. It wasn't. Now, if she had a party life ran through out there, then okay. I'm with the critique then. Bernard, did you happen to catch a replay of SKC or Angry Man lives from yesterday? Both of them had some good topics to talk about. I saw SKC talk about the Floyd, George Floyd daughter getting niece getting shot or something like that. That is a damn good topic. The reason I'm just doing a random freestyle show right now, because I was supposed to have on a special guest, Pocket Watching with JT, that canceled. So I'm just chopping it up, just blabbing, freestyling for roughly an hour unless nobody comes up. And then I'll just log off and take this bad boy on down. But so yeah, we just spitballing a little bit. But no, those are definitely good topics that. But right now I'm just on the fly here. I'll probably put this members only, make this a members only show. But no, I didn't see Angry Man. I didn't see Angry Man's last night. I did see what SKC was talking about. I saw Angry Man's thumbnail. It was like a Muppet with some big lipstick on it. It was some lipstick on a pig in the thumbnail. And that was the only thing I saw as far as that. I did a Google search. I didn't get anything exactly conclusive, even though I did find two pictures of her with some dudes that look thuggish. And I'm trying to quick read some articles. Typed in Megan Good's past boyfriend. Megan dated Josh Gordon-Levitt after meeting him on the set of their movie. Okay. Okay, so she was in a relationship with 50 Cent. Okay. She was in a relationship with 50 Cent. Like I said, it's kind of hard on the air to unearth a lot of unearthed information. Kind of hard on the air to unearth information. Research is to be done off the air, but looking at this, here we go. Hold on. We can do it like this. I got something called, here's a breakdown of Megan Good's dating history. So let's see. Let's take a look. Megan Good is single now. Details about her dating history. Let me make that bigger. I'm about to try to read off everyone that she's dated. The latest news surrounding Megan Good is that she's going through a divorce with her ex-husband, Devon Franklin. They were married for 9 years, but as of 2021, they've decided to call it quits. Megan and Devon started dating in 2011 and eventually tied the knot in the summer of 2012. Devon is mainly known for being a motivational speaker, best-selling author, blah, blah, blah. Brains behind an awesome novel, blah, blah, blah. Okay, he's awesome. Great. Okay, which men are part of Megan Good's dating history? In 2007 to 2010, Megan was dating Thomas Jones. The former NFL player reportedly cheated on her, causing her to end a relationship immediately, along with being a retired football star. Thomas had also made a living as an actor in the movies and TV shows from 2008 to 2010. Megan dated Soulja Boy. Okay. The relationship between her and the rapper didn't work, but it also doesn't seem to have ended on horrible terms. Rumors about Megan dating Nick Cannon made the rounds. April 2006. They starred in Roll Bounce. Never saw that. It's easy to talk. It's easy for talk to spread about two actors dating, crossing paths on set of a movie or TV show. That's exactly what happened for these two. Fast forward to 2016. She was married then. Fast forward to 2016. Megan finally officially denied those rumors. Okay. From April 2006, more rumors about Megan dating Jamie Foxx was spreading like wildfire. It turns out that those rumors were totally baseless since she squashed it a few years down the line. 2006 was a busy year, the rumor mill for Megan, because she was allegedly linked to Tyrese. They starred in a movie together, Waist Deep together. Neither individual confirmed or denied the notion. From April 2004, Megan and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, after meeting him on the set of their movie, Joseph moved on after a split, has been married to his wife. Okay. From 2002 to 2003, Megan was in a relationship with rapper 50 Cent after she starred in the music video 21 Questions. I remember that. More rumors about Megan dating Lil Wayne popped up in the early 2000s. It turns out Megan and Lil Wayne most likely never actually dated. She shut down those specific rumors. Okay. Going on. Megan Good's first was public relationship. Some Mexican dude. Okay. Who might Megan start dating next? All right. So as far as ran through by okay, wait, hold on real quick. We are joined by the guy who was supposed to be the man of the hour. Pocket Watching with JT in the building. Shout out to you. Hold on, let me draw. I gotta drop a bomb before I even read what's going on here. Drop a bomb. Says, hey bro, I love your content. I got hit with the flu last night. Otherwise, I'd be on the panel. Yeah, man. I was I had the thumbnail, everything ready to go, sent you an email, the whole works. So yeah, I had to do me a good stretch too. But no, I was ready to go. I changed the title and everything, and just decided to do a little freestyle, chop it up show with the audience. But let's reschedule. Let's reschedule for those of you who don't know, perhaps came in late. Yeah, this was supposed to be a one-on-one discussion with me and Pocket Watching with JT. He came down with the flu. I knew something was up because it's not like the brother not to respond, but something was up. He came down with the flu, so we got to definitely reschedule this thing. So no, I'll be emailing you. And we'll be in contact. But no, thank you for the super chat, and thank you for coming through and explaining what was going on. So thank you for that. We'll be in contact. But back to what I was on. Here. yeah. So yeah, the allegations of her being ran through by rappers. I mean, if you got 50 Cent and Soldier Boy under your belt, Pastor supposed to side eye you. Yeah, I definitely would grant that. I definitely would grant that. If you got 50 Cent and Soldier Boy under your belt, Pastor. Okay, let me get them off the damn screen. Hold on. I stopped it at an odd moment. No, 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 no. Well, okay, we'll just leave it there. We'll leave it there. still, still got a little sickness myself, but but yeah, yeah. An actor like Tyrese, something like that. Don't say that you getting ran through, passed around by thugs. He ain't no thug. He a R&B. He an R&B singer that fake tough. He play a tough guy on TV. And one says she's an industry chick. That says it all. Yeah. Yeah, I can, I get the argument. I get the argument. Like, I've never just criticized a chick who's in the industry for dating guys in the industry for this reason right here, is that if you're an actor, you make an actor money, then quite naturally, men who are also actors that are also famous that make actor money is going to be in your lane. But if you get so many of them under your belt publicly, it's going to look bad. Then you add the insult to injury that some of them was, the Soldier Boy 50 Cent types. That's enough right there for a pastor to be like, nah, she fine, but I could find a fine woman who don't got a slight public reputation. Even though hers are not that bad. We've seen worse. We've seen worse. We've seen worse. We've definitely seen worse. But when the people was just saying that basically like she was just like the just some ratchet just a hoochie chick with just a bad reputation out there. I didn't think her reputation was that bad because when I hadn't heard about it, I had to Google it. And the only thing you find is that okay, she dated 50 Cent and Soldier Boy. That's enough for a pastor to side eye. That's enough for a pastor to side eye, no doubt. But the link is in the chat. Like I said, don't nobody come up. I'm shutting this thing down at the 1 hour mark. Just start getting ready for my show tomorrow. Because this was just a random topic. Just doing something to fill in the time. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. Now, that aside, now that we've established that okay, he probably shouldn't have messed with her. Probably shouldn't have messed with her. Now let's deal with that with the nonsense that he said. That's probably the last thing I'm gonna do here. Last thing I'm gonna do here before I wrap this bad boy on up. We got to look at the nonsense that he said, and not just what he said, what he did. Not just what he said, what he did. Oh, somebody saying that they're going to come up in 5 minutes. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Like, you're being a certified diva You being a certified diva if you post a picture of you crying. Like, you know how much of a diva you have to actually be to post a picture of yourself crying, which means it wasn't just randomly in the moment. It wasn't just randomly in the moment that you just said that, oh, wait a minute, you was recording something, you were talking about Vernon Scott in the building. It says happy true year. But nah, shout out to V Scott. I still gotta take that segment that me and him did when he was in studio and break that up and make it its own separate video. I still gotta do that. We definitely had a great conversation. That's actually, yep, I'm gonna drop. That's probably gonna drop pre-recorded, maybe later tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, shout out to Vernon Scott. Told me have a happy true year. yeah, he came through. He announced he was going to be a father, and a lot of the brothers rallied around him, gave him some real good advice. I definitely love that show. One of my favorite shows from last year. So I gotta clip that and just segment off that part of it. So yeah, definitely shout out to Vernon Scott. Shout out to Vernon Scott. But listen, if you were doing a video and you were talking and you were talking about something that was emotional and just some tears came out, if it just spontaneously happened, then okay. It happens to the best of us. We have moments where we might have to drop a man tear. It happens. Might have to drop a Denzel Washington from Glory tear on the slow motion tear just come down. It happens. But for that to happen, it was off camera, and for you to just take a picture of it. Like, just think about that. It's like, oh shoot, I'm crying. What do I do? What do I do? And take a picture. To post it 3 months later. How much of a weak punk ass man are you to do that? Well, you're a diva. You goddamn diva. What's your thoughts on Mr. Let Go and Kendra G? Have not seen it. That may be the show tomorrow. Enough people have said stuff about it to where that might be the show tomorrow. In fact, that's going to be the show tomorrow. All right. I'll look into that tonight and I'll make that the show tomorrow. How about that? How about that? That will be the show tomorrow. But we do got a guest coming in right at the buzzer when I was almost about to shut it down. In the building. What's going on? Let me get my earpiece together. Go.
Cool. Can you hear me?
What you got on this? Let me do this because I don't really take the names down because my name be down there. But then when people come up, nobody can see who they are. So let me help you out. Let me help you out. Give you a little Brandon. Alpha Male Honesty with Tobias right there. Okay.
Yo, man, I appreciate that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. What's up? What's on your mind?
Oh, life is good, man. How are you today?
Doing good. I think somebody called you Ray Allen. I don't know.
Man, I've been called all kinds of celebrities back in the day. So yeah, I get it. From Jamie Foxx to KD to Kevin. Who else is there? Someone tried to call me Kevin Hart. I'm like, what are you talking about? But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
But yeah, man. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, no, I've been watching your content for a while, right? I've been part of Manosphere for a little bit, right? And I wanted to know, what was, your intro to the Manosphere, right? Like, what first, who were you first listening to, right? Because I got a couple more questions. Like, who was your first, like, the one person that, like, I resonate with this man's message, right? That like really brought you in and you consumed their content.
The first person that I listened to and I was completely in and just wrapped into it was because there was a lot of people that just popped up on my YouTube just periodically. But the first one to where I was consciously, realized that wait, this is something that where I was consciously aware of what the manosphere was when I was listening to it. It was Obsidian in like late 2017, early 2018. That's when he was doing. I mean, he still does it. He still does it, but it was different back then. It was something about it. Like it was actually probably right before people started going live on YouTube. So he would do like a pre-recorded, 1 hour podcast every day and just post it on YouTube, and he was just surgical. He was just breaking down the numbers, facts, stats, data, and just dispelling everything. A lot of the stuff that's talked about in the manosphere. Yeah, Obsidian back in, well, I mean, I wasn't listening from 2015, but if you go back, you pull up, I mean, if you find some old 2016 Obsidian, and all the stuff was up, he left it up, so it was there. And so even though I jumped on, late 2017, early 2018, everything that he had did for 2017 was up, and I was working third shift. So I went back and watched you know, all his archive stuff. And yeah, he was killing it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. A lot of the arguments that get made in this space, he wasn't the only one, so I want to take credit from other people, but there is a lot of things in this space that we talk about that he was, the original thought leader, and wrote the book. Well, this was before he wrote a book, but he wrote the book on a lot of the conversations that we had. So yeah, he for me, he was the first one. I mean, it was still, Angry Man and Black Ram and so many others who was killing it back then too. But for me, it was Obsidian who was the first one that really sucked me in, and through from him, then I found out about everybody else.
Gosh, I didn't learn about Obsidian right till I was watching, as Obsidian calls him, Saint Kevin, right, Kevin Samuels.
Hmm.
But like at least for me, prior to that, I got into the space before it was, the manosphere, right? It was, I remember Tariq Nasheed, or he used to call himself Tariq Elite back in like '05, '06. He
Yeah.
had his podcast called The Mac Lessons. And it was nothing like it was today. It was just about like gaming, meeting girls and all that.
Hmm.
But that was like when I first kind of like, oh, like, okay, this man's making some sense, right? And was listening to like all his, his content, like I said, way back. And then the next question though for you, like, what made you start your channel, right? What was it that said, you know what, I got something to say. I want to add, my take right on today's current events on how dating and relationship scene is going, particularly relating to us, black men.
The shorter version of that is when Obsidian started, doing the thing where they drop the link or whatever, and people come
Okay.
up when that started. I started coming up on his channel, and this was a Game Changer was just getting started too. And I remember I took the link to Game Changer's channel a few times, and it was a couple of the channels I was taking the link to, but the most popular one was Obsidian, and so I sort of made a name for myself on Obsidian's panel, and a lot of people started saying, hey, you should start a channel. But truthfully, even before that, I kind of already had a channel. I just wasn't taking it seriously. I would just post a pre-recorded edited video sometimes once a month to just throw something out there, sometimes once a month, sometimes twice a month. On a busy month it was 4 times a month, but I was already kind of doing that. And the thing that this sort of goes back to before I found out about Obsidian, they kind of happened in conjunction with each other. I was just seeing so much nonsense out there. I was seeing so much Derek Jackson popping up on my timeline. I was just like, and this was before I found out about Obsidian. I was like, man, I know it got to be some men who know that this is some nonsense, but all the men, it was even men, mostly women in his comment section, but it was even men, and they're agreeing with it. And I'm like, okay, either they live in an alternate universe, or they're just lying, trying to get some vag from the from his fan girls. It was, so I was sitting there listening to that like, man, this ain't reality. This ain't reality. But that's when you talk to people, that's what most people Most people was on some cater, pander, simp type stuff. So that's what kind of sparked me to say, all right, I got to start putting some content out there. That's when we go back to my very, very first video. It was the audio was horrible. I hate the video, but I definitely brought the heat. Where I basically responded to some stuff that responded to one of Derek Jackson videos, and that was the very first video that I did. But right around the time when I was making that video, right around that same time is when I ended up finding out about Obsidian too, because Obsidian, used to do the same thing. Used to clap back to a lot of the stuff that Derek Jackson would say. So those two events, Derek Jackson being on my Facebook timeline, and then and that sort of sparked me to want to make some videos saying something that countered that whole type of narrative that he was pushing. And then me, Googling and YouTube and related things, that's what sort of led me to Obsidian and then led me to the Manosphere. So I was already in the process of doing pre-recorded content back then, but once I was already in that process of doing pre-recorded content, that was also right around the time that Google Hangouts became a thing, where people was putting the link in the chat room for people to come up and hop on the panel. So I was making a name for myself on the panels while doing little pre-recorded stuff. And I just said, okay, eventually by 2020, I just was like, I'm just going to merge them together and just start going live on my channel. In January 2020 is when I finally went live on my channel. Really right around, is it the 7th? Almost been exactly 2 years.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow,
Cool.
I think tomorrow might be my 2-year anniversary going live on YouTube.
Dope. Yeah, me, it's like, I have my channel, right? And it's always just been like, pre-recorded stuff. I had dropped like 90 something, like I said, pre-recorded videos over like the last 2 years. Took some time off, right? Because some folks understand it is exhausting, right? To just like constantly like whether you're going live or shooting content. But it's I also found it, really, really fun. I really enjoy your content, right? Because you argue the points, right? You don't get the emotional side of it. Like some folks want to get in there and just like argue, and they have their back and forth, which is cool. But I really do enjoy how you run your show, how you produce your show.
Hey, I appreciate that.
You are welcome. Now, did you ever see like any of the Manosphere content when it was like on like Roosh V's forum back in the day, when it was like people wasn't going live and nothing like that on YouTube, right? There was like, it was Manosphere topics, right? But this is even before like the Black Manosphere. I know that O'Shea coined that term with like even on like Roosh V's forum, and spun off and like created his own thing, or a space for us. But were you ever in that era? Because I was really, really big on the Roosh V forum way back in the day, like 2012. Right, 2012, 2013, 2014, it was going bananas, but no one had like jumped into YouTube just yet. And just want to know if you had seen any of those topics, any of those conversations, or anything like that.
A lot of that was before my time. If you're going back there, like I didn't exactly like I said, I didn't exactly get into what was considered Manosphere or the Black Manosphere until until right around that, like I said, that late 2017, early 2018. So everything that was happening then, when it was on forums and message boards and websites and all of that, that was before my time. I missed a lot of that.
Cool.
Put it like this, I was going through a divorce in 2014. So I tend to believe I was stumbling across some of that stuff, just off Googling, but I wasn't staying there. I probably just drove through, but didn't stay. It didn't really stick. It wasn't until I found the Black Manosphere that it really, stuck and really stayed with me. So all of that stuff, and granted, I've said this before, when you go all the way back to Roosh V, like I barely know who they are. Like the people in the Black Manosphere are the ones that I really know and keep up with. I am familiar with Rollo Tomasi. I became recently familiar with him, and you almost can't miss the Sandman videos. Once one of those, it seemed like once one of those get in your algorithm, then you didn't. You just boom, 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 boom. So I did get bombarded with a lot of those at one point. But far as all that was going on, pre 2017 in what was known as the white manosphere, I did know about Paul Elam. I didn't know. I can't remember when I found out about him. So I knew about those guys. I just wasn't really into it,
And just so we're clear, right? I'm not trying to shine you on or anything like that, right? Trying to, are you familiar with these guys from way back in the day? That's not my intention right now. Just so because some folks, I'm not in the comments or anything like that right now. I don't know what folks are saying, but just so we're clear, yeah, that's not my intention.
Mm-hmm.
As for going through the divorce, man, I've been there, done that too. Like I'm 41, got divorced in late 2011, so it's just been a little over 10 years for me. But like I said, it was that's kind of also like for me when after I got divorced, it was like, okay, got some, my freedom back and just like kind of went bananas and all that good stuff. So, but I really appreciate the time, man. It's been nice catching up with you, right? Like I said, definitely going to be in the comments. Oh, also, thank you for the wrench.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Appreciate you coming on up. And before the billions, I don't know why you're trying to low key dress like me, man. Take that shirt off.
Hey, actually, just real quick, I put a jacket on because I didn't want to get roasted because my shirt was kind of wrinkled. I was like, I know somebody seen that comment.
No, my shirt wrinkled. I was about to put my jacket on over it too, but I hit the go live button and was like, oh well, whatever. But yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but no, it's like the second time that we kind of dress similar.
Yeah, almost. Man. Yeah. V Scott in the building. What's going on, man? What's going on? Welcome back.
Nothing much, man. I was calling in as a delegate of the Light Skinned Man Association. I had to defend the light skinned man because my.
Well, you look brown. Hold on, man. In that picture, you look brown in that picture, but I did see you in person. You look.
You can attest. You can attest.
Yeah, you and Before the Billions are roughly the same complexion in person, but that lighting got you a little brown on the brown side of things. But anyway, go ahead.
No, I had to come and defend the light skinned man because my man's created an atrocity by taking that crying picture.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. That was a bad move across the board. I remember back in like 2010, 2009, dudes would do those little videos. Like, bro, are you crying in the video? Like, did you open up your camera and while you had tears down your face, take a picture and record yourself? Like, what kind of level of vain diva type ish are we on right now? And then he had the nerve to say, instead of a happy new year, a happy true year. At that point, I had to shut him down. He is no longer a part of the Light Skin Association. We do not associate with that man in any shape, form, or fashion. Because after he posted that, and you notice he posted it with his eyes closed, right? Like he was trying to give you that Shamar Moore soulful type feel. Bro, cut it. Your wife, I'm not saying she for the street. She had a track record. You knew who she was before you married her. You know who she was while you married her. And just go ahead and take that L. Go back to church and say hallelujah, amen, and then go throw some holy water on some people. But don't take the crying picture. You're doing this bad. You setting us back 20 years. You setting light skin. He set light skinned man back 10, 15 years. Steph Curry been doing the Lord's work for us. And he come out here. Why you had to do us like that, Bernard? Come on now. You can't let him do us like that. Redeem us some way. Before the Billions, come on, make $1 billion and then go do something for the light skinned man, because we can't be out here like that.
Before I pass it to Before the Billions, LB Crypto in the building says, Bernard, you're the most underrated channel in the space. Your channel is a crossroads in space. Most of the big guys come here first. 50K subs soon. I greatly appreciate that. I really do. My channel been at a serious standstill. I've talked about that. The algorithm is funny. It's like I quit doing pre-recorded content and my channel just quit growing. Then I started back doing pre-recorded content, and now they sending my stuff out to more people. So I've been picking up a lot of subs lately. So because I was at a standstill for a long time, but now lately it's been gradually moving at, at least a couple hundred a week. So we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it move. We're gonna see it move. But it was at a standstill. It went like 3 months without. I mean, it was stagnant, but at a good place. It was stagnant at a good place. I'll say that because I was still able to get views and everything because I had the same consistent people that rock with me. I just wasn't getting any new subscribers, but now I'm getting new subscribers. So it's growing. A lot of people been saying that, man, your channel is going to be 50K. It's 50K waiting to happen. But no, I can see it now. It's finally starting to move again. But so we'll see where it go. So I do appreciate all the support from everybody. But before the billions, you got the floor, you got the mic.
Yeah, thank you for that, Bernard. And also, again, thank you so much for having me up on the panel. What I would say is that your channel, you have such a huge catalog of content that there's going to be a lot of people who's going to come in and then they're going to see your work ethic and they're going to be like, okay, you know what, this guy, he has been going live pretty much almost every single day, and talks about some great topics, has some great panels as well, and interviews on your channel. So all of those things do help out tremendously. I don't know if you wanted to say the super chat or address it real quick before I continue.
Oh, he right there. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. Like I said, you are also like just really creating a space for other Black men, right? To see that we can have discourse, and it's not just like all over the place. It's intelligent conversation. So definitely gonna show some love.
Definitely, man. I appreciate it. But go ahead before the billions. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say is that at least from what I've experienced is that that you have been able to create a following that is fantastic, because a lot of people come into your live streams and it's on par with a lot of people who have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So I saw this guy who had like over 100,000 subscribers. He had like 5 people in the live stream. So what I mean, and I thought that was crazy, but he did pre-recorded content only, and then he started doing live streams.
Mm-hmm.
So since you're doing live streams, you have like the great engagement. A lot of people, you get super chats as well. So you also, can help out with, surviving and living off of some of their income. And with that, I noticed that when it comes to pre-recorded content, it actually gets like, when you're a small channel like how I am, you be thinking like, wait a second, like I only get like 70 views or something like that after a few months. And then you're thinking like, okay, this is not getting any like traction. But then it actually has higher viewership, after the fact. After you have a live stream, you can have like I have like 10-hour live streams and stuff like that. And people see that 10 hours, they're like, nope. They
Right.
turn their head.
Oh, no, that's true. That's true.
And that's a lot of work to be able to just sit there for. I did a 29-hour live stream. Nobody can watch it because YouTube ain't gonna keep it up. But that's a lot of work that you have to dedicate towards your craft. And one thing that I've learned is that through Lead Attorney is that you can actually create a full week's worth of content off of a 4-hour long live stream.
Yep.
And I have a lot of content, and what I learned is that instead of like going into like a editing software to just clip up some of these videos, what you can do is you can create a clip just using your Microsoft like the video application, and you just shorten it up to wherever you're trying to talk about, and then you can go ahead and put in your editing software. So yeah, just a way to be more efficient.
Yeah,
But-
you got to show me. You got to show me that. I don't even know exactly what you mean on that one. I just clip it. I go to clip grab and just pull the whole clip, then put the clip into the video pad editor, and then just edit out the little parts of it, and then we'll put it out there. That's when I take my live stream and divvy up parts of it. Basically what I end up having to do. But that's how I do it. So And that works for me. It might be a faster way, but that's what works for me. But Snuggles in the building with the super chat says, "Now Bernard, when you get big, don't forget the little people and use my theme song as a basis and let's remember it started here first." I will give you credit for that. You are the one who you're the one who got me dropping all the clips during the stream. Because
you gotta give Snuggles her credit. She consistent and she persistent.
Yeah,
for sure.
That the one clip that you dropped. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then Oswald 123 in the building with a $20 super chat. Appreciate it. Definitely. Shout out to you. Thanks for that super chat. Go ahead. What you saying, Tobias?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the one clip that I saw you drop before that had me dying was the White Knight, right? Galloping through the forest.
Yeah, when somebody, when people be coming up here caping, I gotta say that for OG when he come through here with his cape on.
It was he who.
Yes,
that's the one. Yeah,
that's funny, man. That is hilarious.
It was he who endured blistering winters and stuff like that. Like, man, it was a top tier movie though. Shrek 2 was the best one out of the trilogy.
Yeah, Shrek was good. Shrek 2 was good. Yeah,
quick question though for before the billions, right? He and I, we both work in tech, and hadn't really got a chance to ask him just shit. So, like, how long have you been working in the tech industry?
Coming up to 5 years now. Well,
okay,
yeah, coming up to 5 years. So I got my degree in 2018. So 2018, but I had like internships during that time. So, but yeah, that's been coming up to 5 years.
That's cool, man. That's cool because it's rare, like when I meet other brothers, right, that work in tech but actually have a hand in actually either like building the product, right, or that really support the product from like a data side. A lot of times when I catch brothers that do work in tech, it's they're in sales, right, or they're in marketing, and I'm like, yeah, but there's a lot more money, right, and actually building it, right, or directing like the vision and the strategy, or if you have a highly advanced degree like yours, right, which is data science or data engineering. Yeah, you're gonna always be able to make some money, right? Like massively.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I always suggest people. What'd you say, Vernon?
I'm in IT myself. I'm a software quality engineer, so I know about the bread. I'm literally at work right now.
Me too,
I'm
but
in office. No, I'm in office. It's
you're in office.
I'm working from home and in office. It's just I ain't got nothing to do right now. It's slow in the mortgage industry. So a lot of our work is already wrapped up and done. That's it. So
I want to ask you this, Vernon. Yeah. I want to ask you this about going back into the office. Were you ever like remote before then? And then
yeah, I was remote for a year and a half before we were required to come back into the office.
Yeah.
But I work for the mortgage company that I work for here in Michigan, has this ridiculous campus, and the CEO is very adamant about having people on the campus because he spent a pretty penny.
Hey, alpha male honesty, man. Make sure you keep that pinky finger in when you sip that juice, dog. I caught you. I caught you slipping. That pinky was out.
Yeah, you can't do it. Hey, you got a pinky up. You got a Patrick Star it. You got a Patrick Star it. You got the pink on, dog. You got a Patrick Star it.
Oh, this is salmon, man. This is salmon. This is not pink.
You know what?
We gotta put respect on his suit.
Yeah, salmon. On the salmon. You gotta put respect on the salmon.
Let me see. I told you I think I got that stuff.
Some halls.
As long as it ain't coming from the chest.
Right. Hold on.
Man, y'all two brothers. Vernon said he's back in the office.
What I was about to say is damn, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, this is something that came up when I did the one-on-one with Before the Billions. I brought you up, Vernon. I was talking about how like you didn't go to school like a 4-year degree route to get into into IT or nothing like that. You said you basically did like a boot camp or some 3-4 month training or something like that.
Yes, sir, I did.
All right, now what is it that you do that's because I mean, listen, we talking 3 or 4 months. That's the way to go. I mean, if you can be making about 80K after 3 or 4 months, so like, what's the difference in going that route right there versus some people who end up getting a 4-year, going to school 4 years, and they ended up with a similar result? So I'm just trying to see I'm just weighing cost benefit analysis. Like, why do anybody go for 4 years, or is it a different type of job with different type of money? So I'm just trying to figure that out.
So it's two. It's both. So it's a different type of job. Software quality engineering is you can start out as something called a manual tester. So a manual tester is somebody is just testing the basic functions of a website that is built by somebody. So I started off as a manual tester. That 3-4 months boot camp only gave me training on how to program and how to understand the concepts of programming. If you do a 4-year degree, you're going to get way more theoretical training, and you're going to get a lot more practice in a bigger portfolio because you're going to be practicing those principles in depth. Where we're just kind of getting, hey, this is the overall view for it, and this is what companies are working with at this time. So when I graduated from my boot camp, which was about 4 years ago, I knew Java at that point in time. The boot camp that I graduated from doesn't even teach Java anymore because it's not really big in the industry right now. Python took over. So it's a real snap, like a boot camp is a snapshot. And one of the best things I can tell people, because I taught at that boot camp for 2 years, is that you have to have an aptitude for technology before that. You have to have an aptitude and an understanding of technology before you attend a boot camp. So like I was telling you, Bernard, when I was in studio, before I took that boot camp, I was the resident software mobile guy at AT&T, and I was a corporate office. So anybody that walked in there with a cell phone problem, I was researching and fixing on the spot, on the go. So how I got into it is that I fixed the gentleman's phone, and he was like, "You don't deserve to be here. You deserve to be in the boot camp," because he saw the aptitude. So a lot of people that go through those boot camps is like those AV tech guys that was doing the work and understood it, but didn't have that opportunity to go learn programming. Because let's be real, before I would say really 7-8 years ago, 10 to be safe, people's exposure to programming was very minimal, and the exposure that they had was very complicated. Like I know we had Black Planet and MySpace and all of that other stuff where you can do small HTML stuff, but it was minuscule, and people didn't realize what they were doing. They were like, "Oh, I just got this cool ass background," and it's like, no, that cool ass background is also how these how these companies build their websites. But also, companies 10 years ago didn't have to have a big website presence. So like the difference between me and before the billions is probably one of the things is it's a more refined training. It's like how people that learn classical music have to know about Yo-Yo Ma, Bach, and all of those people, and they have to learn the history of it. And they get immersed in that history, and it's important to the nature and the industry of what you're in. Where me, I was just like, yo, I like this, I'm good. And they was like, here, we can get you a job real quick. And I had to learn a lot of the small nuances while it was on the job. Like even to this day, I'm still learning a lot of stuff. Where people like my counterparts, like before the billions and Tobias, if they have a degree and they've been doing this for a while, they're more the go-to guy because they have that training and they know. So they dispense on the job training and they get paid more versus where I'm here and I'm doing the base level stuff that I know, but I'm still learning stuff that they learned in school and on the job. So that's that's the biggest differences. Yeah, go
Can I
ahead.
add in on that as well? Oh, go ahead,
Yeah,
Tobias.
yeah.
I'll let you go.
Oh yeah, well, like I said, just like Vernon, right? For me, I didn't go to college for this, right? I taught myself, and I'm what's called a product manager. I'm the guy who defines the vision and the strategy, or what and the why, right? And how much we're actually going to potentially make from, say, a new feature or from a new app. I taught myself, right, how to code. I taught myself everything about product management. Sure, I took some courses and things like that online, but most product managers actually a lot of them come from like universities like Carnegie Mellon or Stanford, and they got internships, right, at Yahoo or something like that. That wasn't me, right? I came in just like Vernon, but I am self-taught. But then the one thing that I will say like helped me tremendously is before I got into tech, right? I used to own a kickboxing gym. And there's things about being like a business founder, a company owner that translate seamlessly into my role, right? Which is like, okay, well, how are you going to acquire your customers and once you got them, right? Or for tech, we see our users. Once you've acquired them, how are you going to engage them? And then after you engage them, how can you retain them? Then once you retain them, how can you monetize them? It's the same thing when you run a business, right? Hey, how are you going to get customers? How are you going to interact with them, right? So they actually like what like the service that you're providing. Then you want to retain them, like keep them coming back to you, and then you want to make more money off of them, like even further down the line. It's the same thing, but the difference in my experience was learning the technical side, learning the technology. So like Vernon, right? I said I had to teach myself. There's things that I'm still learning, but I learn fast, right? And I'm always asking a lot of questions. So yeah, he and I do have when just listening to him, we have similar backgrounds, which is cool because I've actually learned that when you come from a background or not the college side of it, right? Because I was a business major, but the folks in the industry who went to school, a lot of times they respect you even more because you didn't do exactly what they did, but you can still work with them. You still actually speak tech, right? Or some people call it computerese or something like that. So yeah, same thing. And anyone,
you can go ahead and finish, Tobias. I'll go after you.
Oh yeah, I'm good. Go ahead and jump on in.
All right.
Well, real quick, shout out to Al Boogie. Appreciate the super chat. He says Bernard is going to unwrinkle his shirt with that cough. Yeah, almost did. Somebody to my question that I asked versus going away the Vernon Scott route, and it sounded like to some degree, Tobias was saying he did something similar, or he did not have a 4-year degree with it. Well, somebody said it's a difference of like 100. I think he said 125K or something.
That was me. Hold on.
Okay, cool. All right. So we'll circle to that then. But go ahead before the billions. Whatever you're about to say, then I'll let Houdini answer that one.
Yeah. So there's a few key differences between getting your degree and also going into your boot camp. From my understanding of it is that when you go in the 4-year degree route, you have the opportunity to get, the scholarships, you're able to get grants and stuff like that in order to go to school. If you don't, you're going to have to be getting these student loans. With that being said, that's why student loans are so expensive. And, if you don't have the money to pay it off, which is why you need to have that return on investment, that ROI, making sure that you get a good degree so that way you can make some good money after you get out of school. With that being said, the first few classes that you're going to take, at least for me, were nowhere near computer science related. I was taking those core classes, and those core classes are a lot of the time are a waste of time, right? You're going to be sitting here like, okay, I'm taking
basket
English. Yeah, well, whatever the electives is that you choose, right? Because electives are pretty much like, they're not required. They're required for you to have to take an elective, but it's a whole bunch of choices. And then you have those core classes that everybody has to take, which is like the English classes and stuff like that. You do have to take math and stuff like that, but when I first started, they didn't give me math, right? I had to take all these other classes. I took African American studies and stuff like that. Didn't help me with getting my degree, but taught me something new. So, and a lot of people use school as a way of networking. When you're, after you get out of high school, you go straight into college. Some people do that, or they take a few years off or whatever. But that's really the only place where you're gonna have like-minded people who are around the same age as you, right? Because after you graduate and you get into corporate, you're gonna see a whole bunch of older folks, in their 40s and 50s talking about, oh, I got kids the same age as you. You know, so that's pretty much what you're gonna do. So if you're trying to date, go ahead and try and do it in college or something like that around that time. But go ahead, Tobias. I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh, I just wanted to chime in real quick on the finances, the money part, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't earn my degree, and I said I was a business major. I still make over 150, and it's not because of that degree. That has nothing to do with the skill set that I use now, right? It's about the value that you actually can create for the business. So, like I said, even if you coming in, like one of my buddies, right? I told him to take a boot camp, and basically, he learned to code. It took him about a year, but his first job, he got started at like 90. So, I mean, that was associate software developer. So like I've been in the game for about 10 years now. Like I said, I'm over 150 without like I said, that Stanford degree or something like that. The money's still going to be the same, but it also depends on where the company you work for is based out of. I work for a company that's based out of San Francisco, but I don't live, I don't have to pay those type of I get the Bay Area salary, but not have to live the Bay Area cost of living. So yeah,
Right.
if you're there, you're gonna get it. Yeah.
And let me finish this off. Let me finish off real quick. 'Cause I know Bernard got a super chat. So the biggest difference that I see outside of just the cost, because usually what you're gonna do is when you go to the boot camp, they're gonna charge you around go ahead, like $20,000 after you get
Whoa,
out or
not
something like
20,
that.
not 20. It's usually about
It's too high.
it's between it. You usually start with a base of about 10 or 11K, and some of them go up to
Okay.
about 18 or 19K. And another fact is for boot camps, you can get scholarships for boot camps because I didn't pay for mine, and then the person, my protege, he didn't pay for his because we black. I'm not paying for that shit. That's that's literally how I looked at it. They literally give opportunities to people, to minority people, and I took advantage of that for the simple fact that I'm a black man and y'all want black people in tech, so I'm not gonna pay for it, right? I ended up getting awarded a scholarship where I paid $0 for my boot camp. They actually had to give me money back.
Yeah, it's
Same
nice.
thing with my protege. So not to say that you're wrong, but because it's a lot of people that I keep getting into boot camps and they're like, oh, I gotta pay $10,000. And it's like, not if you look in the right places. A lot of these places, and they don't even have to be connected with the boot camp themselves. They will pay for it. Like you have a lot of grants that cities offer because these boot camps work with the local government, and you pay and they'll pay for you to go to the boot camp. So that's really important because a lot of people get deterred from taking a boot camp for that simple fact because they don't think they have scholarship options.
Right.
All
And
right.
yes, go ahead, Bernard.
Oh no, I was gonna read the super chat then pass it to Houdini, but you can say you got one more thing. You can go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying one of the biggest differences is if you are going into, the boot camp route, just like how I think that Vernon was saying his was like 3 months. 3 months is the same amount of time as one class within college, as one course. So you're gonna be, ramping up, you're gonna be learning a lot of information, but it's gonna be focused information. You're gonna be doing a lot of projects. So you're gonna have a lot of things that you can put in your resume, and that helps you out tremendously because now you have, some projects that you can put on there, showing that you actually have experience using whatever technology that you're using for whatever job that you're looking for. So a lot of people, they actually quit within 3 months, actually going into school. So if you're focused and you're determined, you can actually go into a boot camp and you can finish it off, and then you can actually switch careers by doing that. So I highly recommend if you are somebody who's maybe switching careers or something like that, or you don't want to go the 4 year route, then go into a boot camp or go the self taught route.
All right.
Bernard,
All right.
and after that, you're done.
I'm sorry. Who said that? Who's talking?
Destination Dad. When you're done, can I jump in after that? Because
Well, yeah. You got next. You got next after the gentleman right next to you. But shout out to Snuggles. She says the new year is starting off beautiful. You are about to have tech wars on your panel. No, we not. No, we not. Says Bernard, you are making intelligence relevant again. Thank you for the super chat, Snuggles. I do appreciate you. And where is it? I'll go ahead and play it.
Hi, I'm Snuggle, Snuggly Softness.
All right, that's all you get today, Snuggles. But all right, Dean, you gotta go ahead. You had said something. Said something in the chat room. I don't know if they answered your question, but you got the floor. You got the mic.
Am I coming in clear? I just put the headset on because the volume seemed a little bit low.
Yeah, no, you good.
Good.
Okay. So yeah, I made the comment about it's a difference of $120K, alluding to tuition. But
okay.
In all seriousness, I am a advocate for college. I know that you said the boot camp is probably the better route, but I think that I'm an advocate for college for people who have the mental capacity, the cognitive abilities. So if you scored on the SATs, for example, and you got, say, I'll be nice and say 1080. I actually don't know what it is now. Like when I took it, it was out of I think 1600. But if you got like 1080 or higher, you should definitely take your ass to college. Like you're shortchanging yourself in the long game, because that could set you up for success in terms of advancement in your career. You could pursue more advanced degrees, like master's degrees. But what's more important in college is internships. I think before the Billion said he did at least 2 internships.
Yes.
And that's one of the bigger benefits when you go to some of these institutions. They've got career fairs that you can go to. I don't know if you guys are familiar with NSBE. I hope you guys are. But that you could link up with and get some of these opportunities. So I know in this space sometimes we don't give an entire context for why college is actually a good thing, and might push boot camps, but that's my opinion on it.
All right, good stuff. Thanks. Go ahead, Destination Dad. You have the floor. You have the mic.
Thanks for pulling me up, Bernard. And hey, what's up, BTB?
What's up?
And salute to the other guys on there that I'm just meeting. So I said this on the Before the Billions channel before. So I'm gonna go over some of the stuff that I said before and add some new context to it. So I've been in the engineering game 15 plus years. I'm a data architect, data engineer, did a lot of consulting, did full time, worked for some high name companies. And my opinion is this. So 10 to 15 years ago, a degree was needed, unless you was like part of like 3 or 4 deviations from the standard deviation, right? So back in the day, yeah, college degree was needed. For the past 5 to 7 years, boot camps were real big, but by the same token, boot camps from the places that I worked with and the people that I hired, their resumes get thrown into the same pile as the people who didn't have a degree. So you may be slightly ahead, but not too much, because in general, you went with a boot camp if they had some type of direct pipeline. So one company that I worked for had a special pipeline where they underpaid boot campers a lot of money, but they got their first job out of the boot camp. That's not the case with the majority of boot camps. So you kind of lose with a boot camp. You're paying $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 unless you find a good one. And even then, you're still paying too much, because how most people do it now, especially within the last 2 to 3 years, you go on YouTube, you set up a GitHub project. You set up a GitHub account, you create some type of project, you upload your code to GitHub, and you put your resume out there. Then they ask you what you've done. You can show your project on GitHub, and it's hard, but it's the same thing as going to a boot camp or something else. Like a boot camp helps you build projects, like people said before. You put it up, you show what you've done, you get the job. You can do that by yourself, basically. And then there's scholarships. If y'all are familiar with Peter Thiel, he was part of the PayPal Mafia. He's actually has a scholarship for people not to go to college because he thinks it's a waste of time and go straight into the industry. So that's what most people have been doing lately. So I agree with Alpha Male to a point, and I also agree with Dean to a point. Now, when you get into the business and you want to go to the higher ranks, sometimes they do require a degree, or they like to see that degree. And a degree also lets you know that you have, what's the word I'm looking for? Discipline to go through something and complete it. So you can have a degree. as far as engineering, you can have a degree in English, math, whatever you want. You can still switch over to engineering if you want, but that degree does look good because it says something about a person.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that because there's no shortcuts in life. And I'm not saying that a boot camp is a shortcut, but sometimes you have to, toil in the soil and just get through it. They have weed out classes in a lot of engineering spaces, and you guys know this. There's a caste system in our field, and you kind of alluded to it when you talk about when you're going through resumes and putting stuff in different piles. There's a caste system in regards to the type of college you went to, the type of degree that you got, whether you have a degree or you don't have a degree. Like, for example, there's what they have, engineering and engineering technologies, ET. The ET guys were always looked kind of down upon. You're still going to get paid great money at the end of the day. Don't get it, don't get it twisted. You could still earn great money, but there is a caste system.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that, Dean, because, well, to an extent, right? Because nobody's asked me what degree I got after I got my job. But I know that you're talking probably about like going through the recruitment process. I think that's more so that, oh, well, he has an ET degree or he doesn't have a degree. We're not going to even, push his resume over. And yeah, I can understand that as well. I do have a lot of people who I work with who don't have a degree at all, or they have a degree in something that is unrelated to technology. Like I tell this story all the time about how I went through 7 interviews, almost made it to the 8th interview, but then they gave the job to somebody who had a music degree, and they went to a boot camp. And I was like, wait a second, I had 2 internships, and I had a degree as well in the related field. And then they told me, oh, you did nothing wrong. I was sitting here like, wait, what? Like, if I did nothing wrong, I had everything that you guys were looking for, then why did I not get it? And you guys gave it to somebody else who did not have all the same requirements that I did. But that's just how it is sometimes. There's a whole bunch of ways around it because you can just know somebody and then you can get you a job.
That's one word, network.
Can I spit to that? Can I speak to that one really quickly?
Absolutely.
That actually, that happened to me one time. I was interviewing for a position at Porsche, right? And went through the whole interview process. They brought me on site. I had to create this massive presentation and all that stuff for them. And I go through the whole thing, and HR reaches back out to me. Hey, the team loves you, right? Blah blah blah. But we actually decided to hire somebody else who was in-house. Now, many times a company will have to put the job out there, right? They have to make it public. They have to interview, go through those entire steps, right? Because it's the law. But they already know who they want to hire, right, for that position. If that's the case, because they told me, hey, we hired this other guy. Then I jump on LinkedIn. I look at this guy's resume. I'm like, this guy doesn't even have any experience. He was just already inside the company, coming from the sales team, and he was German. And the director, who I ended up speaking to, or the VP I was speaking to, he was German. I'm like, oh, they probably got that guarantee. They have that cultural connection, and he was just a shoe-in. Even though I went through the full interview process. A lot of times they already have who they want, right? And for anybody else, it's just a formality, which is a waste of our time, but we won't know that.
And there's a couple of things I want to throw into that. I mentioned this a couple of times again on B2B's channel is once you get your first job, not too many people care about where you graduated from. They care about what you did last. Another thing too is I like to explain to people, getting into engineering doesn't always mean that you're coding. I mean, we got a QA guy with Vernon. We got a PM with Alpha Mel. B2B is a developer. I'm not sure if you mentioned what you did, Dean, but I'm, like I said, an architect. So there's a whole different verticals within engineering that doesn't have to go through the math route, the programming route. There's routes where you get to communicate with people, dress fly like Alpha Mel, and just talk to people, make connections, make things done. There's people that just like to pick their brain, that really, really care about breaking things, that's focused like Vernon. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And there's people that like building like Like before the billions, there's people that like drawing up the system, seeing how things intertwine with each other. So it's a whole bunch of different verticals that doesn't necessarily have to deal with a bunch of math and sciences in school or deal with building and picking your brain about certain things. Like there are stuff where you get to be a regular person talking to regular people, where you just need a high level understanding of tech, and you're about building relationships and managing projects and make sure they get completed, and you still make a bunch of money.
You don't even need to understand the tech. I'll say one word and everybody, I'll say, not even, oh yeah, if you're saying like, oh, you're talking about high level, like just a basic, because I was about to say, I could say one job title right now, and everybody on this panel should be like, oh yeah, every Black woman should do this. Scrum Master. Scrum Master.
Thanks.
You see, boom, there we go. Right there.
Thanks.
See how everybody lit up? Scrum Master. I have no idea. And I begged Black women. I'm like, bro, it's a job where you get to tell people what to do. And you just have to write a report after of what you told them to do and how fast they did it. And you can make about 75, 80K a year.
I know.
Are they respected?
Are they respected? Ooh, that's a good bit. It all depends.
Well, let me add this. I actually have a Scrum Master. Had a Scrum Master that didn't have a degree at all. They had been in the industry for many years, and she was like, "Oh yeah, and by the way, I don't have a degree," and that's literally how she did it. But then I just thought that was like, like that's even more of a route for people to do. As long as you're good with Jira or some sort of project tracking software or something like that.
Jira or TFS, and you can get into a corporation easy. If you're familiar with Jira, TFS, you can get into about 75% of corporate companies in America. I'll take that back, across the world.
That was one of the things I did on my channel. I did a project management tutorial where I showed people how to set up Jira, how to set up the workflow in it, and some other stuff. I did one of the videos for that because it's some of the simple stuff that can help people get in. And not only that, if you're not even trying to get into IT, it still helps you manage your projects. I did it for like YouTube, like here, for the YouTube creators,
Agile methodology helps you manage your life, real talk. The
Yeah.
Agile methodology,
Man.
I got a son on the way, and that's the first thing I'm teaching him.
Right.
Hey, bro, we're going to work this in 2-week sprints. We got action items. We got stuff that need to be done by this day. And if you can get it done in 2 weeks, I'm not even on your head like that. But that's it's a great way to get people to work. It's a great way to get people to move. I've done it plenty of times inside and outside of work. Like a lot of this tech stuff apply to your life in real life, especially with all the amount of technology we use nowadays. The technological mindset is really important.
Agreed. Yeah, I use Jira. Right, I've been using Jira for years, and it's the whole Scrum Master thing. I see it more as like a role within the team versus it actually being like a full position. And if it's a full position, you're usually more like a project manager, right? Versus just like someone that's dedicated to a specific team. On my team right now, we don't have a Scrum Master, right? We have me as a product manager who doubles as a Scrum Master. Then we have my engineering manager, right? My counterpart, we have our devs. So that works for us. So, I'm managing, writing all the user stories, right? Loading up my sprint, getting the estimations done with my team.
Hold on. Wait a minute. On the tech point, where's your BA at?
Yeah, you need a BA.
You said you was writing
analyst.
You said you was writing stories and you're the project manager? That's
product. No, I come from I don't come from the traditional software development industry, right? I've only worked in an agile environment, right? So
Looks like we lost Bernard. He's
right?
out.
Yeah,
Bernard escaped.
Yeah.
He's gonna go take a nap.
We done took over the panel.
You gotta do what it is.
I don't need for my teams, right? I've never worked with a business analyst, right? First off, like when I write my user stories, I'm not defining the how, right? I'll write the acceptance criteria, but the how that's actually, that functionality is built, I'm gonna leave that up to you, right? Developers. I don't need the team. We won't need, just, let me tell you exactly, which API should be called and all that. No. That when the team goes off, right, we can scope the work down, like, how many points is there's going to be this amount of work. Cool. Does this acceptance criteria, right, make sense? Can you actually develop this? Yes. Getting super technical into the weeds, that doesn't need to be in a story, right? Now, if your company is that large where you have your product manager and your product owner and your scrum master, right? I worked for one company like that and I had to leave. I'm a product manager who is talking to the customer, working with my devs, and also the business leadership, right? All three of those. That's way more agile than just, okay, well, I don't have anything to do with the development process, right? My team needs to actually be able to understand, my vision, right? And how it actually translates, not me trying to tell that to a product owner. And then they kind of like, okay, well, I can write up stories and all that stuff, or a business analyst. So I've seen the product owner role pretty much being like a business analyst, because like I worked in that. I did it for like 3 months for a company. I couldn't do it. That's just not who I am.
Can I ask you a question, Tobias?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell the difference between the roles of a product manager and a project manager?
That's a good question.
Absolutely. So simple, like the product manager is worried about so when you have, well, what's the actual business goals, right? What is the business trying to achieve? Then we look at, we're trying to define the customer problems, right? And which of those align with the business's goals. Then we look for solutions, right? With the team, like collectively or collaboratively, hey, what could we do to solve that problem, right? And we define the metrics, right? We define the, how we measure success once it's built and once it's shipped, right? It's on the market. How are people actually receiving it? What's the adoption rate? What's retention looking like, right? How are we monetizing? Project managers don't do that. Project managers are more worried about the timeline, right? It's, okay, well, when is this actually going to be done? So you have all your work that's chunked into sprints, right? You got your estimates done. Okay, can we get all this work done on time, right? Yes, we can. No, we cannot. And if we are going to, go beyond that deliverable date, well, why is that going to happen, right? So the project manager isn't looking. They're focused on a specific project, right, or multiple projects on different teams, but not how the actual deliverable is going to actually perform in the markets.
Yeah, there's an organization called PMP for Before the Billions. There's a project management professionals. They offer certifications. So if you're interested in that path, there is a certification route for that. But again, it's all a matter of what your interests are. To answer your question, I'm a mechanical engineer. So totally different from you guys. Totally different from you guys.
You still went through all the pain though. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't act like you ain't had to take them what is that? Not geography. I mean geometry.
Calculus.
You had to take geometry and calculus. Don't act like that.
Not geometry, but like differential equations, a lot of physics. But it's a completely different discipline.
Yeah. Yeah, that engineering stuff,
still calculus,
gentlemen.
All that stuff. Yeah, that was.
Hey, I hate to do this, but I got to drop. I got to call. I got to jump on right now. I was just a couple minutes late, but I've enjoyed speaking to all of you. I'm sure I'm gonna catch up with you all again on the channel. Bernard, thank you for putting it together with the freestyle chat today. I had a really great time.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
No, absolutely. We're actually gonna pass it down to the one and only Theo Wyeth in the building. Go ahead, you got the floor. You got the mic.
Thanks. I got a few minutes. I've been a ninja watcher today. Just listen to the panel speak. A few points. What you say about Jira is entirely correct, and what you're saying about Agile is also entirely correct. So basically, you got to understand how to work in that environment. And I'm now trying to figure out, because as I'm teaching a course, I'm now trying to figure out exactly how to teach Jira in my course, because it'll give a significant advantage to my students. So that is something that you just have to have. You have to understand how to be productive within a 2-week sprint. You have to understand what the mechanics are about this, how that actually really works. So everywhere, I think particularly in the last 4 years, everywhere I've been, this has been a particular issue. So Jira, also, what is it? Azure. I forgot what it's called. I'm supposed to go on there and do something on there right now. Azure also has a board like that, like Jira, where you're supposed to be looking. I forgot what it's called. Just go look it up on the computer. But you basically
Scrum,
have
Kanban, Scrum.
you have to do Kanbans as well. I'll go look at it while one of you guys are talking on it.
Kanban or Kanban?
No, it's Azure. It's a Azure area where you put the epics in there. You put everything on there where you're supposed to.
Azure DevOps?
Azure DevOps, that's it. Yeah. ADO, that's right. So you need to know how to use that one. Also, version 1, you need to know how to use that one as well. And what I find is, again, I'm having students are talking about the tech and things like that, and they're worried about how to get into the office and things like this. And I'm like, it's one thing to know the tech. It's a lot more to understand Jira and sprints and where to track your work, and also GitHub, GitLab, and where to put your work there, and how to link it to your Jira ticket or your Confluence. And if you know how that's working, they'll think of you as being a really value add. The problem is that you can't teach that. I mean, you actually need to get access to it. I mean, I'll just ask you guys because I don't know this. Can you guys get access to it without being in a company?
What,
you have to
access to Jira?
Jira, right? There's no like.
Yes, you can.
No, you need enterprise. You need enterprise level access. A lot of the software that you use in these corporations, you can't get access to. I mean, you could. Right. You would have to have like $20,000 to pay the subscription for a year.
Right.
But
so you can't
with Jira, you can. I actually have Jira now with my own business, and Destination Dad said he's using it now, as well for just YouTube. Yeah, for free.
Yeah. I did a whole.
You have a free tier.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know it was a free tier. Okay. Well, then I'm going to use that free tier then in order to
Jira and Confluence.
I'll go figure it out and put it in my class because that's actually more relevant. Being able to use that is more relevant to actually working. Yeah.
Because for doing software quality, a lot of stuff, the user stories, tracking test cases, reverse traceability matrices are all pretty much tracked in Jira. We need all of that so we can pinpoint where everything is wrong and log those bugs and defects.
Right.
So like if I can literally just get access to Jira and then I can sit somebody down and be like, this is where you make a test case. This is how you make the test cases. This is like, that can be infinitely. Like I could probably make a QA tester in about a month if I have a free access. If I have a free trial to Jira, I can teach somebody to be a manual tester in 4 weeks.
Huh.
Yeah,
you and me
you
need
get
to
it for
talk.
free.
You and me need to talk, man. Come find me. Go talk with Bernard. Get access to me. Like, I need to talk with you about this. I need to figure out how to implement. Like, talk with me. Go be collab because I got some students who definitely would enjoy that. I just don't know where I can get it for free. I mean, I've got plenty of Jira myself, but I'm drowning in it. Of course, I'm like, where did I put the information? Like, I got to report this. I got to report that. And I would say most of my job problems that I've had, if I have a job problem in the last 2 years, it's been related to Jira and Agile, so that I wasn't reporting my work effectively, or I was in la la land. I didn't know how to report, and then you get a project manager saying this guy isn't productive, and then you're out. It's a death sentence. But even if
I've been there.
Even if you're doing something stupid, as long as you can show it on the boards like ADO or version 1 or Jira, at least you can show that you're doing something, and this is what your problems are. You're probably going to be okay. It's politics.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've definitely lost a job where I'm like, I told you something was wrong. The developer didn't do anything, and they're like, well, where is it on the board? Where's the information? And I'm like, I walked over to him and showed him, and they were like, yeah. And that's one of those things where you not understanding is especially difficult being a Black man in the tech industry, because you can do the work, but if you can't show the work, Right. It's counted against you, and as a black man, sometimes it's counted almost double because
Right.
there's already a predisposition that you don't know what you're doing, and that you
Right.
somehow magically got here. Like you didn't do the work like everybody else. So when you don't do the work, it's looked at like, oh, well, of course you didn't do the work. You don't know. It's either you don't know what you're doing or you're bullshitting.
So how do you
And
guys
Yep,
how
I
do you
agree.
guys
I
deal
agree.
with when things get slow and we're like, beginning of the year, everything's slow, everybody's trying to get their budgets together. What do you guys do as far as, like tracking your time and stuff like that? Like let's say you don't have any items or anything like that. You just like create some stuff or try to create some technical debt items or like what do you guys do?
daily
So,
for
like,
those. Oh, go ahead, Theo.
I would say right now, this is what I'm going on. So most of what I have, there's nothing to do because it's the turn of the year, the new year, right? So everybody, if the manager doesn't tell you have something to do, you're okay. You say like it's a new year, nobody's around. They're like, okay, yeah, we know. But then you just wait, and they keep on you. They keep your contract, and then they're like, okay, like the second week of January, it goes back to normal. You're like, all right, fine.
Okay. So for me, one of the biggest things, if you got downtime, Pluralsight exists. You got daily stand-ups. If you
Yeah.
don't have nothing to do, just run on the Pluralsight and watch some videos. It keeps you out of the way and it keeps you available. But one of those things about agile methodology is when you do have those daily stand-ups, the only thing that I really say is, hey, I don't have much going on today. I have availability and capacity. In the meantime, I'm gonna do some personal trainings. I'm gonna learn like GraphQL is one of the big industry standards right now. So I'm gonna study GraphQL. Or you go look up some project or whatever interests you at that time. That's like the free time. It's like study hall when you had in high school.
Yeah.
You just kind of go. You don't even have to fully be on Pluralsight 100%. You can probably have another screen up doing something else. But in that
Yeah.
downtime, it's best for just personal training, really.
Yeah. Just make sure that there's nothing like really bad going on. So like that Log4j that happened, that was a death sentence. That was horrible. Really at the end of the year, because most of us were already burned out. So that happened and we were really burned out after that.
I'm so
So
glad
if there
I didn't have
isn't
to deal with that.
a Sev 10, then you don't have to really worry about it. You could just kind of chill out because your manager is probably going to be gone anyway. So it really matters if you're a full-time employee versus a contractor. So a contractor, you kind of have to play that you're doing something. If you're a full-time employee, you don't have to do anything.
No front.
Just say like, I logged into my computer and I'm here. That's it.
I know, like I kid you not. Like if I could show you guys right now, I'm like that's literally my office. I'm not doing anything right now. Like Theo was saying, I'm literally waiting. I'm waiting for an automation engineer to do troubleshooting on a script that he built, so I can run it in a development environment. We don't know where the problem is. I know that's probably gonna be all day for him. I really feel bad for him because I really don't know where this broke at. That's why I had to give it to him. But that's my day. That's my entire day. So like, of course, when Bernard was like, "Oh, this is a freestyle session," I'm like, "Oh, I don't really have to do anything. I picked up a privacy code and now I'm here chatting."
So
Been on
let
here
me
for an
ask you a
hour.
question. So you're doing this, this QA, which, okay, so what kind of, like your automation, what's your environment?
What do you mean? Like when you say environment, are you talking about like the local stage dev?
Are you doing like Terraform, Python, AWS?
Oh, we're using C#. So we use Visual Studio. Like I said, I work for a mortgage company, so we're doing my team specifically. We're deploying microservices because we have one big ass monolithic database, and we got a bunch of people hitting it at one time. Don't work out for scalability. So for working for scalability, like I was saying with the GraphQL, we're deploying microservices, utilizing GraphQL. That way we can pull data and push data without breaking the damn system. That's it.
So you're just, okay, so you're like pulling it, let me guess, you're pulling it from GitHub or GitLab and then running it to make sure that it works, right?
The code?
Yeah.
Bitbucket.
Bitbucket.
Yep.
Hmm.
Bitbucket, because I think from my understanding, they had an easier time hooking up Bitbucket to Genius.
Hmm.
So to run the automation scripts against the environment. So
We need to talk because I have some ideas that I could use from my students that I can get from you. I get be inspired by you, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
I can run it in my environment, and then I can get my students to do it, and it would put them on another level. If I can get Jira working and do that with them as well, it'll give them the political like forte to get into that office and say, no, I am the master. Like I can do it. And
Yeah.
I can at least hold my own. So this is good. I like this. This is I'm glad I joined it. That was a good idea. I wasn't even thinking about this. This is good.
Sorry, Bernard. We done like hijacked your stuff.
Oh no, I love this. I love this. I like to have, you know, the like I said, like to have a smart brother zone. you know, a lot of brothers need this information. A lot of
We're
brothers
black.
need
We're Black Heights when you need them. I watch a lot of Black Heights channel. this is right up his alley.
This is really good. This is on ideas I wasn't even thinking about, because usually I'm thinking about like how to get through the next step, but you're getting like this altruistic way of doing it, because again, I as an engineer, when I'm in the office, I'm like, I haven't done this before, but I know what it's like, so I can figure it out because it's ultimately point and click. So okay, I'll just figure it out. What's my environment variables? Okay, I got it done. Took me I drank a few beers, but I got the stress is gone. I figured it out. And when you're explaining it, I'm like, oh, I could take what you're doing, make it into a process, teach it to other people, use it in the office, and boy, really enhance value. I'm like, yeah, this is good. I'm glad I'm talking with you.
Yeah, I had to teach. I taught intro to coding, so I had to do a lot of correlation stuff. So like one of the best ways I teach people how to code, especially being from Detroit and being from Michigan, I liken how code works to the factories in Michigan. They all crank out like a Chrysler factory, crank out a 300, but every 300 isn't the same color, isn't the same edition, doesn't have the same trim. They're all made in that same factory, but they all have different parts that are added to the car overall. That's modular dynamic programming. It's like, okay, we got the base of it, but we're adding stuff. You can also, once you explain it to people like that, and it's like, okay, so you can have a class that's a method, that's a person on a line. So they just take directions, and it's like, okay, this car is a limited 300. So if this car is a limited 300, it takes this type of trim, this type of windows, and this type of stuff. That's a function. If you like explaining those concepts to people gets real easy, because you just got to correlate it to something that they already know.
Can I add in something? I want to get you guys' opinion on this. So since we're all in technology, or in some spaces, I know that Dean, you said that you're a mechanical engineer. So with that, how do you guys manage your family asking you guys for money, right? Because they know that you are making some good money. You got that good return on investment, but seems like as soon as you start making some good money, then everybody's broke.
You want to know what I did, honestly?
Yes.
Moved far enough away where I can't go get them no money. I can't cash out shit. I can't do shit. I'm far enough away, and you know where I live, so you know this costs money.
So BTB, I personally don't have that problem. That's why I was advocating for, if you've got the cognitive abilities, go to college. A lot of my relatives are very successful. Like I've got several doctors in my family. So that's a problem that I don't have.
For myself, I just send additional dog food with Amazon to the house, and then the dog sitter gives it to the dogs. Yeah, that's about all it takes. Then I get a few.
You send your family dog food?
Well, I've got 3 dogs, so. I have an aunt who I support every month, and so that's Zelly. So she's my last living DNA member that I've got. So I zelly her every month, but that's about it. Outside of that, it's dog food. Yeah.
Hey, that's one way to live.
What you do today, normally I give it because some people are just not gonna have. We all go through hard times, and I really don't have that problem in my family. Most of my family is pretty well to do, but for the ones who don't, and for even if they ask or they don't, sometimes I do it because I'm in a position to do it, and it's just spreading love. So I always have family and friends number one, but a close number two is money. But family and friends will always trump money any day for me. So
Yeah, and with me, it's like I'll let you go ahead, Bernard, and get the super chat.
Well, Lord Commander in the building, he says, I tell them no, I don't give out money. I give out jobs. I like the sound of that. Says, so if there is something I need done, then you might can get some money from me. Very well said. Very well said.
I like how he said that he doesn't give out money while he gave out money. Right?
Well, he said he give
I
out jobs.
appreciate it.
He give him,
Right.
give him a job,
Yeah.
give him something to do.
A
I like it.
job is better than cash. You can make cash with a job. You can learn the skill to make more money.
Yeah.
That's fact. Shout out to Lord Commander.
That's why we all up here right now. Go learn, for everybody in the chat, go learn the IT skill.
and let me
Mechanical engineering.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I had a friend that went to Michigan Tech and did mechanical engineering. Y'all are a whole different breed.
I'm just making fun.
No, but I'm giving y'all credit because mechanical engineering is when we say it's a hierarchy to things, it's levels to this. Mechanical engineering is kind of up there. So we just giving you your flowers, bro.
I disagree with that. I don't think necessarily that there's a hierarchy in the disciplines because the disciplines have their own lane. Like you guys have your own organizations. Like I have ASME, right? Or I'm more into NESB, but I don't think there's a hierarchy in terms of the disciplines. Everyone has their own technical space. Now within those
a hierarchy, I wouldn't say a hierarchy, excuse my language choice, but a difficulty rating. I would say it's a difficulty rating.
I can't do what you guys do. That's why I say it's like apples and oranges.
Okay, I can get where you're coming from now. It's like it's just a mutual respect for two different
Absolute mutual respect. Absolutely, bro.
Okay.
Mutual respect.
Let me run through some stuff real quick for people to hit rewind on Bernard's channel in case they're trying to get in. So I kind of did this for B2B, and I'm going to do it for this channel too in case someone needs to go back through it. It's going to be real high level. But in general, if you're looking to get into data engineering and all this stuff that I'm naming is free. I would start off by downloading Python. I would download Postgres. I would sign up for one of the free trials of Azure, AWS, and GCP. And I'll learn some pipelining when it comes to like Kinesis, Data Factory, or Dataflow, depending on which cloud platform you download. But definitely do Python and Postgres. It's going to teach you the two main things that most data engineers are going to work with, and it's all free. If you're going to do mobile, if you're going to do iOS, it's usually going to be Swift. The old language was C. If you're going to do Android, the new one is Kotlin. The old one is Java for languages, but I'll definitely learn one of those. Front end, you want to stick to like React or Angular. They're usually the big ones. You're going to need to download repositories. They're either one of these will do good. GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. If you're going to do DevOps, you might want to do Terraform, Jenkins, Kubernetes.
Terraform.
Play around with one of those three. Well, play around with all three of them, actually. Kubernetes, Jenkins, and Terraform. And you definitely will need one of those cloud platforms. If you're going to do project management, you could download either like Jira, Asana, right, Trello, learn Scrum, learn Kanban, and stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of subcategories for this stuff. Like there's hyper apps. I mean, there's a crossover apps for like mobile where you develop for one, but it goes to both platforms and everything. So this is just a very, very high level for people looking to get in. And for people that's already in it, looking to get different jobs, like for the big five, Amazon, Facebook, Google, all those guys, or the FANG companies. Usually on LeetCode or HackerRank, they got the questions that they ask you during the interview, and they got some of the problems that they give you during the interview. So it'll be to your advantage to go there, look at it, practice those questions, learn the interview type questions. If you have a job, you're not afraid of giving your email. There's a thing called Blind that a lot of people give you, and they tell you like the total package compensation you should ask for. They tell you about the interview process. And so it's like people who are already been verified with these companies. So you have to have like an AWS account or whatever account in order to actually talk about it or like confirm that the salaries are real on there. But anybody with a job domain can actually contribute and ask questions. So that's like one of those little secret things that you can go to. It's called Blind. And I think the actual name is Team Blind. But you have people from the actual companies telling you about the hiring process, telling you about future layoffs. They're telling you about the total compensation package you should do, the levels that you should be at when you're coming in with certain skills. So that's also a good place to go. So if I think of more stuff, I'll give it to you. But this is like all stuff that you get from being in the industry. Like Blind is something most people wouldn't even know unless you're part of that Silicon Valley or inside information, stuff like that. But now it's kind of known. But yeah, so a bunch of stuff that, you know, if I remember, I'll just bring up on here and just hit rewind. Hours.
That was definitely some good stuff. I was planning on taking this down. I kind of want to leave it up now because there's so much good information was put out here. But if I leave this up, all the stuff that you reeled off real fast, put it in the description. I mean, put it in the comment section, and I'll pin it to the top so people can go and get that information. But Snuggles in the building with the super chat. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go after I'll go after the super chat. Okay.
Snuggles in the building said, never thought I would see the day when men are going to fight about complimenting each other. Times are actually changing. Good job, young man. Thank you for the super chat, Snuggles. And Lord Commander in the building with the super chat. He says, I made a whopping 400K last year, and I let my family know not to stunt on them, but to let them know what's possible. Helping a buddy get into IT now. Right on. Good stuff, man. I love it.
Each one teach one. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's what you got to do about it. And I got some good ideas going on because, again, you guys probably know I'm teaching my AWS course right now. And I'm bringing these guys up to a certain level so they can do infrastructure and let's give them some basic security stuff. But there are some other things here that they would probably like to know about.
Absolutely.
And so I think we could actually do some collabs because, like, I do some programming, but I can't really teach basic programming because I don't have the patience for it. So you've got the patience for it. You know how to describe it. I can teach basic infrastructure, cloud, and security because I definitely have the patience for it and I know how to bring someone through. Whereas programming, it's like, figure it out.
It's kind of tough.
I'm just saying, like,
brains before they work with their fingers.
I'm doing Terraform, and so I'm gonna have to teach Terraform. But like, if I can get somebody in there who could teach basic programming and then transform that over to Python, and we can get them doing automation with Python and with Terraform, and then also knowing how to check things in and out and doing branches, that's going to give my students extreme value in terms of the market.
You're talking about the whole Git push pull, commit, stash, all of that?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Because, I mean, this is something I do at work, but I'm kind of like, or a lot of times,
it's the
like,
boring part.
Yeah, it's boring. Or I just do the security, the high level security checks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just like, okay, I approved it on ADO or I approved it on GitLab, something like that. And I'm looking at certain points. I don't have to actually make it. Whereas if I have to make it, I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to think like that. That's a long time ago. But
I get it.
You know, you guys have that skill, right? So, I mean, we can definitely collab. You guys got the skill set that I would need for my students. We got, hey, look, Bernard, man, you know who we are.
Yeah.
So you need to get our emails together after this. Start sending some emails out to us so we could like talk to each other, because these guys got skills that I could direct towards my students to make them unstoppable. Right? Like,
That's important.
They would be great. And I want 20 or 30 more black cloud engineers who are like, "Woo, ah!"
I want it to be just like how it was when we said IT on this panel. One person said something about IT, and like 8 of us showed up out of nowhere. Everybody just started camming up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that's what you want. That's the type of stuff that you want. But you don't want it to be where you don't. This is the first time you're meeting 7 of these people, and it's like, wait, all of y'all do IT? Hold on, where were y'all at a year ago?
Yeah,
so I think that's important.
Absolutely. So yeah, I definitely make sure that I connect. Shoot, everybody on this panel all need each other's emails. So yeah, with Theo, my email is in the about section, so my email is easy to find. So y'all email me, I'll forward all y'all emails to Theo. We'll do it that way, and then that way,
Bernard out here doing project manager work.
Yeah.
We don't get you in the IT yet, bro. Don't worry.
Never know.
Subscribe to Bernard to be too big, but I'll subscribe to you guys too. So let me know.
I don't even have a channel.
Yeah,
I just be showing up.
All right. Right. But all right, y'all, we about to wrap this up. It was funny. I was only planning on when JT couldn't make it today. I was only planning on doing about an hour, and we went. How long we in? We almost 2 hours and 30 minutes in this. So yeah, it turned into a great show. I was going to take it down, but I'm gonna leave this up. There's a lot of good information on here, so I'm definitely going to leave this up. So but we about to wrap it on up. I'd like to thank all the IT guys that came out and made this a show today. I had a canceled show, just freestyled it, just winged it, and turned into something special. So shout out to each and every one of y'all. I do appreciate it. And with that said, we are out of here. Shout out to Ryder God. He was holding it down in the chat room. Everybody down there.
This was a good show. I like it. I like this show a lot. This is great.
Yeah, we out of here. Peace.